Last night I walked past them again. Their laughter echoed down the hall, sharp, cruel, like knives disguised as jokes. They didn't even see me. They were too busy whispering, pointing, imagining my failures before I even had a chance to rise. For a moment I froze, remembering every word they had thrown at me over the years. "You'll never make it," they said. "You're too weak, too small, too insignificant." The words burned, but something deeper inside me stirred. It wasn't anger yet, not fully. It was recognition. The recognition that every insult, every betrayal, every doubt they planted had not crushed me. It had prepared me. I went home that night, slammed the door, and let the silence consume me. Most people would break in this silence, but I have learned the truth. The quiet is not empty. It's a battlefield. In the darkness, in the moments no one watches, you face the rawest version of yourself. You see your fear, your failure, your doubts. And in that reflection, you make a choice. You can let it define you, or you can let it forge you. They didn't know this about me. They never saw me in those moments when I was alone, standing in the shadows, building a fire inside that even they could never imagine. I spent hours staring at the ceiling, thinking about every time I was ignored, underestimated, dismissed. Every person who smiled while planning my failure gave me something priceless: clarity. Every betrayal became a map, every insult a hammer, every doubt a fuel for the storm I was learning to become. The next morning I walked out with the same face, the same calm as always. They saw nothing. They assumed I was broken. They assumed their words had won. But inside, I was no longer the person they thought they knew. I had begun to grow piece by piece, shadow by shadow, silence by silence. The pain had become a teacher. The betrayal had become a blueprint. The laughter that once hurt me now fed a force I was only beginning to understand. Every day I carried this storm in secret. I trained it in silence. I fed it with discipline, with patience, with the quiet refusal to react the way they expected. I observed, I listened, I learned. Their attacks, their underestimations, their arrogance, it was all fuel. And slowly, invisibly, I became something they could not recognize, something they could never predict. I became inevitable. And then came the first test. Someone who had always doubted me, someone who laughed at my ambition, crossed my path. I didn't yell, I didn't fight, I didn't even react immediately. I watched as they tried to provoke me, tried to break me, tried to push me back into the shadows where they thought I belonged. And in that silence, I realized the power I had gained. The calm I wore like armor became sharper than any blade. The patience I carried became deadlier than rage. I didn't need to strike them. I only needed to exist fully, completely, unshakably. And that existence was enough to make them falter. It was not a dramatic victory. There were no screams, no shouts, no vindictive celebration. But in that moment I knew the truth. The storm they feared was already alive inside me. Every setback, every betrayal, every lonely night of doubt had built it. And now every whisper of disbelief, every sneer, every underestimation I faced was being returned to them, not with violence, but with inevitability. They thought I would break. They thought I would cry. They thought I would beg for mercy. And yet, here I stand, silent, strong, unbroken, unstoppable. The storm doesn't scream. It doesn't boast. It waits. It grows. It calculates. Every move, every decision, every silent hour of preparation sharpens it. And when it finally breaks free, it is neither cruel nor vindictive. It is undeniable. They do not realize that every word they used to diminish me, every glance meant to scare me, every action intended to control me, only strengthened me. They gave me the storm, and now it exists outside their imagination, beyond their reach. I walk through life differently now. I no longer seek approval, validation, or recognition. Those are for the weak. I exist for myself. Every morning I remind myself that my strength is not given, it is forged. Every hardship is not punishment, it is preparation. Every betrayal is not the end, it is the blueprint of mastery. I don't need applause to know my power. I don't need acknowledgement to understand my worth. I know it because I have built it from the ground up, from the ashes of every insult, every doubt, every moment they hoped I would fail. People fear what they cannot understand. They fear what they cannot control. And they fear what they cannot see growing quietly, silently, relentlessly. I have become that fear. I do not need to announce it. I do not need to prove it to them. The storm is within me and it is uncontainable. They thought I would break, but every attempt to destroy me only carved the path I now walk, a path of dominance. And when they finally realize it, it will be too late. They will see what they never saw coming. A person who was never weak, a storm that was never broken, a power that was always meant to rise. The whispers that once haunted me are now the winds that guide me. The laughter that once hurt me is now the echo of my inevitability. The doubt that once shackled me is now the proof of my dominance. You may be facing your own storm right now. You may be surrounded by people who laugh at your dreams, dismiss your struggles, or betray your trust. But hear this. Every insult, every failure, every lonely night is building something unstoppable within you. Your silence is stronger than their noise. Your patience is sharper than their rage. Your endurance is fiercer than their hatred. Pain does not destroy you, it fuels you. Betrayal does not break you, it shapes you. The storm is already inside you, waiting for the moment you claim it. Do not fear the dark. Do not fear the silence. Do not fear the moments they say you are weak. You are stronger than they ever imagined. You are sharper than they ever realized. You are the storm they whispered would break. And now it is time for the storm to rise. If you are ready to turn every wound into power, every betrayal into clarity, and every doubt into unstoppable strength, then remember this. The storm is not loud. It is not obvious. It is not immediate. It grows silently, invisibly, relentlessly. You cannot force it. You cannot rush it. But when it arrives, nothing in the world can stop it. They thought you would break. They didn't know you were building the storm. They didn't know you were unstoppable. And when you rise, they will remember every whisper, every laugh, every doubt, and realize too late that they forged what they feared most. If you are ready to rise above the whispers, above the pain, and above the doubt, then join me. Subscribe, stay relentless, embrace the storm within, and remember that silence is louder than screams, patience is stronger than rage, and the power you carry is unstoppable. The storm is yours. Let it rise.